Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Chewing the Fat. I've had a few weeks off, or maybe a month even, just letting Dean take the reins, talking to a couple of our expert advisors to the Simpler Health protocol. But today I've got I think he's just about to come out of phase 3 and into phase 4, or if you're already into phase 4, David Gale, who I've known for a number of years, but I haven't seen you since, like, in person, since I think your farewell when you moved to Queensland. There was a do on a pub or something, and I was there with a couple of.
Yeah, I've been up here 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can still see you walking into that thing 10 years, like it was yesterday. Just time just freaking flies. And yeah, Dave saw me start my protocol and got in contact with me and asked me what it was about and everything. I just sent him straight to Dean. And how many weeks on are we?
I did the protocol 3 finished for me last Thursday, so 4 days ago, and I did 30 weeks. From 30 weeks on protocol, but I kind of started cutting things out a couple of weeks before the protocol started.
You were going to go on it and stuff. Yeah. And all up your
house. 51 kg, I dropped.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So I know you contacted me before you started, and when you saw what I was doing. For a lot of people, I think that when they see these sort of talks we have with people that have been on the protocol and lost the weight and whatever, it was just a matter of, ringing Dean, getting on the protocol, and away you go. For some people, it's not that simple and it's not that easy. What was it like for you before you started? Like, what did you have to deal with before you gave him the call and jumped on board and all that sort of thing?
Before I'd even thought about doing anything seriously, there was a couple of little triggers that had happened in recent times, that made me think, this is bad, this is no fun. I kind of, once, I split up with my wife, I kind of got a bit lazy, and instead of, cooking like we would normally do, I'd cook every other night and just do basic lazy options, get up in the morning and just go, I just have a toasted cheese sandwich because it's easy and quick and get out of the house. But then that would become dinner, or, I had a couple of mates and we'd have our ongoing joke for, what are you having for tea? Oh, vegetarian, which is a packet of chips and some beer. Things like that were happening gradually more frequently. And I remember towards the end of, I was going to say last year, but the year before, I was just about to miss the train. So I was at the top of the train station. It was ready to go. And I thought, I'll just quickly, you just run down the stairs, a whole 8 seconds of active movement. And I got through the doors, sat down, and I was sucking in these big, I couldn't breathe. And I was in all sorts of trouble and did not look very cool on a packed train either, just quietly. But I was struggling to breathe, and I thought I ran down, 20 steps. It was 8 seconds of hurried movement. This isn't right. This is no good at all. So, and that happened a couple of other times, in the weeks following. And I'd noticed other little things that just, when you go to do your shoelaces up, I'd have to do it a certain way because all my guts would get in the way, and I couldn't actually breathe. It got to a point where I couldn't breathe, bending over or put my leg up to tie my shoelaces, because everything would just be squishing everything else in my guts. So I have to take, like, in.
Tie your shoelaces up.
Yeah. With all you've just extra girth that's on the front of your body. It all squishes down when you're trying to reach over and tie your shoelaces, and you can't breathe, and it hurts. And so you'd have to inhale and try and do it real quick, and that shit ain't right. It shouldn't be happening. And I'm kind of wise enough to understand that. Many years ago, I kind of let myself go a bit, because I remember I can't remember the exact Ironman. It was Guy Leach, or one of those guys, driving his car down the road, had a heart attack, drove into a tree and died. And I thought, this is like the fittest person in the universe. That doesn't get any fitter than that. So if it's your time, it's your time. So I don't give a shit. And, I wouldn't go out of my way and just shove fat in me guts 24/7. But I really just thought, well, time's your time, whatever. But it was these recent sort of events and a bit of spiraling, in for various reasons that kind of went, oh, maybe not. And you see the ads and everything else going on, but it's different when it's someone that does something. And a lot of people have said that to me as well. I've already could name probably half a dozen people who've lost even just 5 or 6 kilos themselves going, well, I've seen what you've done and it's really made me want to do it. And, you're the example, Trev, because I saw you do that and I've gone, oh, I know, Trev, and I know you well enough to go, dude, what's going on? And, the big thing for me, to be honest, because I was fat and lazy, was I said, how many times did you go to the gym? And your words were, exercise equals 0 times. I thought, I'm interested. What else do I got to do? Talk to Dean. And then the last thing after your spiel was these big capital letters, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah. And because I should preface this with like, what's been your nickname for like years?
I've been known as since 1990 or 91. That started at uni. It ended up being through all my band days. The guys in Jelly Bean Jam called me Gutsy. Right. The guys in the Porkers is Gutsy. People up here don't really know me as that because I never really introduced myself as that, but I always thought that if you know my real name, you can call me whatever you like, I don't care. But people that you catch up with, Gutsy, what's going on? And the guys in Porkers now have changed my title on the website to Slim Gutsy. That's just in country now, but anyway, whatever. The whole Gutsy thing was always the reference, because always had the belly that was always in my genes, but it's hard to do that now in a West and all of them.
And I remember there was a concern about how much beer you could drink on it as well, yeah? I remember you saying, can I drink beer? I was like, no. Might count me out.
I'm not a mad beer. I seriously, I reckon I've been drunk in the last 10 years, maybe 4 times, like drunk where I couldn't drive. Not spazzy, because I just have no interest in that. Plus, what it's like, if you don't have beers for ages, you really feel it the next day, and I hate that. It doesn't interest me anymore. I did that. Man, I'm playing in Jelly Bean Jam. We were out 4, 5 nights a week, and we were running amok, mate. I partied more than most, and awesome. It was so much fun. That was something new. I don't need to do that anymore. I turned 50 last year, and that was part of the drive. Was I got a 7-year-old and I can't keep up with her at all. She's a lunatic. So it's time, dude. Do something, and help yourself out. Do it for your kid and do it for yourself, and
good on you.
And do those. And I guess there's certain things that. What's a good example? It'd be like it's you need to clean your bathroom, and some days you go, I got to clean the bathroom. It's not in the mood, man. And so you just don't do it that day, and then a couple of days later you go, yeah, I'm in the mood. I'll do it now. And a lot of these, in bigger decisions like losing and doing it properly, it was always I don't know. No, I'm going out this weekend. I'll start next week and stuff. But it just dawned on me, and that's it. And that was it. The mindset was done, and after I spoke to Dean, I just sort of set a date in a couple of weeks. I don't like waste, so things that I had in my cupboard I wanted to get rid of. So once I ate my last packet of chips, I didn't replace it. Once I finished my last can of Coke Zero, I didn't replace it. I finished my milk and my Milo and all these things I just didn't replace until it was Mother Hubbard. The cupboards were bare, so that way there weren't any options. I mean, there's some snacks in that from a child, of course, but I already was in the right mindset to do what I had to do, and
cool.
Off we went. Again, so that was end of June, and protocol started mid-July.
Yeah, right.
Last year.
How'd you find it being on that? Like, besides just what you ate and all that sort of stuff, how was the? Well, actually, have you tried to lose weight before with anything else?
Not properly. I lie back in just before I met my wife. So that was 15 years ago or something. I dropped a few kilos. I did some shakes and stuff back then. Back then I was doing shakes I was doing 2 shakes like morning and night, and then lunchtime I was just having anything. So literally I was having a sausage roll or a burger or whatever. I dropped about 10 or 11 kgs back then, but I wasn't near what I was. I was only about, I think I was about 110 kgs in around, when was that? Yeah, so about 2005. And I got down to about 96, 97. And that was all right. I was going on walks on the weekend in the morning I was living at Gladesville at the time, so just walking down to the river and back and easy things. But, once we hooked up, I just didn't continue and just whatever, forgot all about that.
Yeah.
This was, I was 133 kilos in June. So this was more of a, again, the mindset was done. And it was funny because they said, oh, what's your target weight? And I hadn't thought about it. And I didn't know what weight a skinny me would be. So, you just pull a number out of your date or mid-80s. So, got to 85 and thought, I could probably go a couple more. But I suppose, that was, it was good getting down there. Seeing the first time I saw 89 on the scales, all I could think about was, I said to Dean, I haven't been in the 80s since the 80s. And that was legit. It was a frigging uni or something. But once I got on the first protocol, it was fine. It can be a bit of a creature of habit. So once I got in that routine, it was pretty easy. I'm not a mad foodie, so I kind of had probably 7 or 8 different things that I rotated that, I liked. I love my Asian veggies, so, I cooked up a bunch of those, and that was my staple throughout the whole time and remains so now, before and after.
Yeah. How much does your taste come back, though, after you get rid of all the I was tasting so much more in what I was eating after I'd been on protocol for the 12 weeks.
I went to a 50th on Saturday. Didn't have any beers. Could, because I'm off protocol 3, but I could have. Chose not to. Which is boring though, so I should have. But anyway, it's another story. And there was a few little snack things there, and I'd already had, my dinner. But I had, a popcorn chicken with ranch. Oh, so good. Yeah. And, fried pickles, other dip. Oh, so just exactly what you're saying. Things that you hadn't had for so long, and just all these, it's fresh and new again. It's like discovering the things again. It was great. And
you can actually taste more in it, whereas before you would have eaten 20 of them with no problem. And
exactly.
Been like, it's just popcorn chicken, but now it's like 8,000 spices in a little bit of chicken and ranch dressing. You taste everything that's in it.
Yeah, exactly right. It was so, it was unreal. Probably looked a bit weird, in the middle of this party. Everyone else is just popping them or whatever. I'm just using my duds and shit in the middle of this party, but whatevs, man. I don't care. I was loving it.
And how did you find the calls with Dean each week and stuff like that? Or what do you think the biggest difference to what contributed to you the most along the way besides just what to eat?
Look, I'm more of a data person than a motivation person. And, I spoke with Dean about this. I enjoyed the science and the data side of it. Motivation-wise, I enjoyed hearing like some different, anecdotes and, stats and things that Dean shared. They were so interesting. But, just the change of how your body change, how you're turning off the insulin production in your body and why and all that sort of stuff, I found fascinating. And, how Protocol 3 charges it again. And that's why you only have introduced these things in the morning and in one short burst to do this, and this is why. And, right, that's really cool. And that's the stuff, from the start that's got me on board and really helped me maintain the thing. The regular chats with Dean were good, but I have to be honest and say that, the science side of it was more the, that's the stuff that, I love all that sort of data and science.
Triggers stuff as well, like when you don't know what's happening and you're just restricting calories and going on a diet and you don't know why you put the weight on in the first place or why it was so hard to take off or why you've taken it off and putting it back on so quickly and all that sort of stuff. When you have that information of how it all works, then you have like you're aware of what you're doing at each specific time versus just I'm hungry, I want to eat.
It's very powerful. It's becomes, for lack of a better term, a bit of a conscience. Because in the past, I'd go, oh, cool, I want some of that. You're walking through Woolies and you go, oh, I haven't had them for a while. Boink. Now it's I haven't had them for a while. Grab it, turn around, check the carbs, check the kids. Is there another option? This? No, don't need it. Bang. And, I've have friends who, had different things. Like a girl at work I sit next to had the gastric banding. So, she was having popcorn the other day, said, oh, the guy who did this said this is the right one to do. And I thought, oh, I'll suss it out because I don't mind a bit of popcorn. It's been a while. But I grabbed the packet at the shops the other day and went, nah, not for me. Again, it's I don't have a little, Devil Dean and Angel Dean that pop up on the shoulders each year or anything, but it's just part of
They're both just Devil Deans, dude. They're both just Devil Deans. There's no Angel Dean.
Pitchfork in each side going.
But it is remarkable. Like I did the same. I had to actually push myself the first few times. I walked down doing the same thing and just go, oh, I'd normally be into that. I can eat that now. And then I'd just walk. I'd end up walking out with a protein bar from the health food.
Yeah.
What is going on? And then after a couple of weeks, I was like, no, I can eat anything I want. Let's do. And I had to actually physically force myself to. And then it got to the point where I was like, why am I pushing myself to eat this crap again? Purely for the fact that I can. And it's sort of full circle as to now, you just view everything differently and you're looking at labels again and you're like, yeah, exactly the same.
It was good. The thing I enjoyed and again made sense to my data head is, when I spoke to Dean at the end of the third protocol, he said, right, before you were looking at every meal and this is your meal, it's in this little box. Whereas now, look at your calories and look at it over a week. So if you do go a little bit over one day, just make sure you go a bit under the next day and look at your week as a whole. And that's a really way to be balanced. And to me, that just made so much sense, because that's going to be the maintain thing, and because you've loosened the reins a bit, but they're still there. And that's really cool. And I like that option. Again, I haven't overindulged. I have had someone made chocolate slice and brought it into work because they knew I was off. So I had a bit, but I made that night I had a shake for tea, and there's my numbers they all added up. So happy days. And, I don't need to sit down and have a bowl of sketty at tea to think I'm a man. I'm happy to just go with my numbers and, be happy. And that's what makes me happy, knowing that all these new clothes, I haven't bought tons, but the new clothes that I've bought, I'm going to fit tomorrow because I did the right thing today. So I've gone from, I was wearing 4XL polos. This is a medium.
Wow. That's
freaking
phenomenal. I'm going to see if I can put the before photo of you into this video, if my editing skills will allow, of the one on stage with you playing guitar, the thing. I'll see if I can put that in because I don't think, as I said before we started recording, it was like, you just don't look like the same person, dude. And even when I showed my missus, when Dean posted the photos of you and you posted the photos, I said, look at this guy. Look at it. She goes, who's that guy? I said, it's the same guy.
She rang, said, is that you in the other photo? I seen your tag. Is that you? I knew you were doing something, so I didn't tell anyone I was losing weight. I kept that all me. I didn't advertise it. I didn't tell any. I mean, the only people who knew, obviously, was people at work because they saw me. But I was working from home for a long time because of the COVID. And the first day back in the office, I walked in and they all just kind of went, but, a lot of my friends and all my family and that are in Sydney, so I haven't seen them oh God, well over a year. So that was the first time. So I didn't, as I said, I didn't tell anyone. I was doing this for me. I was doing this for my daughter. And then it was on the Stalker book, and then everyone's just going, okay, fair enough, that's good. And literally, I mentioned to you before that the amount of people who have rung up or I've spoken to and just said, dude, I saw you, and that's made me pull my finger out. You've done a good job. I can see that it's achievable because it's you, and I know you so well. That wasn't a slur or anything. It was just saying, it's. And again, I said this to you before, it's different. You can see Jared on the Subway ads, but he's just some dude who gives a shit. He could be a paid actor. You don't know, but your mate, your actual friend that you've known 20, 30 years has done something. You can't deny that it clearly works, and you're going to do something about it. So it's been great. My sister, her husband, a couple other mates have gone, yep, I've cut this out, and they asked me, what should I do? I said, well, ring Dean. But they said, oh, look, drop a couple. And I'd go, well, tell me what you have for lunch. Oh, 2 cans of Coke Zero. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy then.
Yeah.
If you're watching.
Yeah, you're going to get calls after this now going, what did you dob me in for? About me?
Sorry, man.
You're not even talking about going, was that talking about me? Yeah. So what sort of on the flip side, coming out the other side, what difference has that made for you in your life, and with your daughter? What does your daughter think, and how much different is life now compared to before?
I think well, I walk taller. I really do. It's a nice feeling. I mean, I can't talk for anyone. I've always believed that, people who are large who say, oh, I'm happy with myself and I'm comfortable with my skin, full of shit, because I never was. But again, you can't talk for everyone else because I'm not them. And I never said I was comfortable with my skin. I always thought I was a fat shit. But I had always a million excuses about why I should do something about it or not do anything about it. So I don't know. It's just nice to be able to think about doing something and do it. I used to come up with excuses why not to do basic things, or, my daughter would want to go ride bikes, but I'd be, let's play Minecraft instead. Just shit things that, you're just there thinking of yourself. What can I do to get to avoid any activity? Where now I'm dragging her out. Let's get I bought a bike. Let's go. Let's get in the bikes. Let's go. Let's go in the pool. Let's do this. Let's go this because I can. And you enjoy those things better. You go for a walk with your kid. You do it because your kid, and you do it with your child. Shit, I'd be all sweaty. I had a locker at work. It's about a 15-minute walk from the station to my office in the city in Brisbane. It's always humid up here. It's Brisbane, so I'd have to walk from the station to work, go down to the lockers, have a shower because I'd just be sweaty, and go to work. Whereas now, I do not. I just do the stroll, and because I'm
that's been for real.
I'm fit-ish and built better for this environment. I don't, I'm not that big sweaty ball of lard that can't take 10 steps without gushing goo. It's nice. It's pretty pleasant.
How's your daughter about it all? What does she think?
Oh, she's all right. She's a bit cheeky to one of her friends because one of her friends is a bit of a little turd and used to say, oh, you're so fat, your dad's so fat. And then the first day I went to pick him up this year in holidays, the friend was just there going, isn't he? Yeah, shut up, you little turd.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Was you going to get in the car, fatty, or what? just
yeah, no,
little kid.
Twice about saying that again. No, she was. I mean, it's a kid. She's got my genes, so she's a little bit chubby as well, and that's just whatever it is. Who gives a shit? But no, it's nice. The things we can do together. you know, it's noticeable that we get to do those options. I mean, she likes that. I say yes to pretty much anything these days. Let's go into rock climbing. Yeah, righto. Let's do this. Yeah, right. That sounds great. Can we go for a swim? Yeah, of course. Let's go. And you know, and those things are fun for me as well. So it's not a chore to do those things, or I'm not dragging myself out to do it. It's let's do it, man. That'd be great. You know, and it's good, more quality doing different things for her, for me, and for us. So it's just winning, just winning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
To mention the extra years of life you've given yourself to be around there for her as well. You know, when she's older, and you know, doesn't have to worry about dad dealing with diabetes and maybe having a heart attack by the time she's getting married and stuff like that. You know,
I didn't get to go because of COVID, which is annoying. But for my 50th last year, I'm a bit introverted, so I didn't want to have a party or anything. So my sister and I had booked a trip to go overseas. We had tickets to see Rage Against the Machine in Seattle and Vancouver and Edmonton and Calgary and Winnipeg. Then we were flying back. I think it was a Sunday. Then on the Wednesday, we were going to see Faith No More in Brisbane. Then the Friday was Faith No More in Sydney. Then Saturday was Faith No More in Melbourne. Wow. Then Sunday, fly home, Helmet at the zoo. So Faith and Rage are our two favourite bands, and they were playing two hemispheres.
I wouldn't have picked up on that, eh? I wouldn't have picked up.
We tickets to everything. I did my will before I'd planned on going, because I was scared shitless to go to watch Rage Against the Machine 5 times in 10 days because of me. So I'd actually done my will. I mean, we didn't end up going, but I didn't know it at the time. So it was precautionary, but I was in the back of my mind shitting myself a little bit, going, this is going to be unreal. I hope I don't die.
Wow.
I won't now. But legit, yeah, I did that.
Jeebus. That's freaking out there, dude.
Yeah, well, you know, I wasn't going to miss out. I refused to not live life. And,
just wait a bit. But I'm going to make it. It's just.
Mate, I had Diana when I was 43, so I'm 50, she's 7. And so, you know, I think I'll be 64 at the 21st. So, you know, I've had a full life. I've, you know, toured internationally. And pretty much every guitar player I know is better than me. But
I'll put my hand up and say, no, I'm not Dave. So that's a lie.
We both played in bands with Ange and just stopped playing mid-song, just going,
why do I do this?
I'm punching well above and I'm loving it. But, you know, I was just lucky, right place, right time. That, you know, I've toured, you know, I've done Soundwave, I've played festivals overseas, I've done a live album in Japan, I've played, you know, the Boston House of, you know, the House of Blues in Boston to a full house. That was only a couple of years ago. Just shit like that when you're a kid practicing your guitar with Jimmy Barnes posters on your wall in Campbelltown, you dream about doing.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to do all this stuff, but it doesn't mean I don't want to do it again either. You know, and that was one of the jokes with a guy I play with up here, Mark. You know, I kept telling him that, you know, our release, which I'll plug like a turd, the EP comes out end of March, and the new single's out next week. Thank you very much, Karoshi, Karoshi, Spotify that. God love you. And you know, I said when we're playing festivals overseas in Europe, I want to be there in a pair of shorts and my shirt out. And that's what the stage I want to get to. So I can just do that and just rock out on stage, just like some cool old dude, and having a great old time. Yeah. And that was a running text throughout. He going, every time I'd see him every couple of weeks, going, dude, you're just killing it. I'm going, festivals, dude, shirtless festivals, man. That's you know, and that was always going on. No, I want to play in a pair of shorts. I want to play next festivals I play on play in a pair of shorts.
And dude,
that's it.
You don't know who's gonna, like, when you say people watch you lose weight and they get inspired to do it and all that sort of stuff. You don't know who's been, you know, listened to you guys for however long and have sort of known the size of you and whatever for all those years, and now they see you at just over 50 and just go, crap, this dude's got his shit together, and they do something.
It's exactly right. They're the ones that you don't know about. I'd like to think there's some of those. I mean, I'd like to think all of us have had that, sort of, being able to just show. I mean, I don't want to say inspired, but, just, again, just show people that it's doable, it's possible. And when you're living proof and when, again, that recognition, if they can go, I've been watching the Porkers for 20 years, watching this fat bastard jump around the stage, crowd surf with his guitar and do all sorts of stuff. I'm glad he lost 50 kilos. He's going to be a little lighter to carry now, shit like that.
Jump at me. Whereas before they were like, stay there.
Yeah. But you're right. It's exactly right. And if you can do that, then, well, you're doing them a favour, you're doing their friends, their family, everybody a favour, and it's that domino effect, I suppose. You had that effect on me. I've done it to some family and friends, and they'll again do it again, and nobody loses at all.
And then I get it. It's a bit hard to say inspired people to do something, and you think, but you sort of got to force yourself to go, well, crap. Just me taking that on and throwing my guts on bloody Facebook has had this effect on people, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's actually a great thing, but it's okay for me as well to have done that.
Yeah, I guess it's weird because I kept it quiet. I was only doing it for me and my child. I didn't tell anyone. So when it became public notice and people, then there was reaction. People were doing it as well. It was nice. I was really happy for them that they were doing it, and I hadn't really thought about it until, well, just then actually, to go, okay, I bet they're doing it because of me, and that's quite nice, I hadn't actually really thought about that. Very good one. Thanks.
And it sort of resonates through. Then you sort of realise that other things I do or don't do can have an influence on people and what they're doing and not doing as well, versus just being in that little insular, what I do doesn't matter, what I do no one cares about, so I can just do whatever I want. It sort of opens your eyes a little bit to, well, maybe the stuff I do and say does have an impact on other people, and maybe I should be a bit more responsible about that.
Especially now, people are kind of looking to you to, what's Dave having for lunch, because they know that it's going to be calorie counted, or it's going to be healthy and good to maintain, the whole basis of where you need to be and things like that. So, I mean, it's easy to do because, if I had a choice of what I want to have for lunch, it's pretty much, a bit of chicken with herbs or lemon and yummy stuff and veggies that I always like anyway. So, it's funny, in the past, I'd be at work, just doing a shake or something for lunch, or just heating up the same sort of thing for lunch as well. And someone would be next to me just having, just a basic toasted cheese sandwich, and I'd be going, that looks really good. And they go, dude, what you got looks amazing. You go, well, it's really yummy, actually. So just that quick little, I haven't had a toasted cheese for 6 months, was just a quick little, actually, no, my lunch is better. Yeah, see ya.
Yeah. Grass is always greener, isn't it? It's always, you sit there looking at your food going, bloody rabbit food and a bloody shake, and you're eating a toasted cheese, and they're looking at you going, that looks awesome, but I couldn't be asked. I could only make this.
But, different things as well, and, you're having your salad at your different meals and unlimited lettuce throughout the day. I didn't find it that easy to just continually graze. So I took with me to work and, had every day what became known as my big bag of lettuce. And I just had an airtight lock bag where every morning I just grab half a lettuce, shove it into this bag, and then mid-morning, usually about 9:30, I'd get it out, and that would be my morning snack. I'm doing my work, just get my lettuce into my guts and people at work would just be going, you're grazing again? I said, yeah, watch out, I dropped some pellets just behind your chair and, and then I did notice a couple of them, some of them would go and get a snack, and where they would normally go to Coles and get some lamingtons and bring back to everybody, they'd go and get some fruit to bring back to everybody, just little things. And you go, hey, good on you if that's what you want to do. I'm not preaching. You guys are grown ups. You do whatever you want, but it certainly rubs off, especially when you can see the difference. Absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining me, Dave. That's great. I hope everyone got something out of that talk. Don't forget to buy the Porkers EP, is it? It's out.
My new stuff out. Karoshi is the new thing. It's kind of like a Prodigy Art versus Science electro riffage, which is so much fun to play, Trev. It is so much fun.
Help me, Dave. 1 cent in royalties from Spotify and get out and buy.
That'd be great. I can go buy nothing, really.
Thanks, Dave.
All
right. Stay tuned next week for another interview. I might actually speak with Dean this week for something different. So thanks for joining in. Any questions, anything you want to add, please post below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Good on you, Dave. Congratulations. And we'll keep in contact, eh?
Yeah, for sure. Cheers, man.